Hey, so I'm doing a quick CMA for the Story property. I think I have another video on CMAs, but I figured I'd record this one as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the property on Appfolio just to take a look at it, which I already did, but just to show you. So I just really want to look to see like where is it located, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. I usually watch the marketing video and look at the photos to kind of get an idea of, this what it looks like. This property, I think, has vinyl plank flooring in the common area, carpeting in the bedroom, um, not a very updated kitchen or bathroom. So, to do a comparative market analysis, this is what we do when we have a property that's going to be listed for sale. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at properties on MLS, and what I'll do is, so again, this property I know is located in Casablanca, and I know it's two bedrooms, so Casablanca West. There's also another community nearby called Casablanca East. So I like to look at both. They're pretty similar. I also look at the square footage, which is 1022. So basically what I'll do is I'm going to look at properties that have sold. I usually start with 180 days, but you can always adjust it to 365 days, like for a full year, depending on how many comps you get. I would think that this particular community would get a pretty good amount of comparables. So I'm going to do Casablanca West, Casablanca East. Yep. Okay, so I got 19 comps, so that's a pretty good amount. I also like to limit it, so I'm only really looking at two bedrooms if possible. We only really need three comparable properties when we're putting together a CMA. So, if you only have five that pull up, you can see how many pull up down here under matches. So right now we have 16 two-bedroom properties that are either listed or have sold in the last 180 days within these two communities. Again, preferably I'm looking for Casablanca West ones because they're going to be more similar. So what I'll do is I'm just going to click on matches down here on the bottom left. I'm going to click on search. And we got a good amount here. So I'm going to sort by subdivision name because first I want to look at these Casablanca West ones. So there's one actively listed that's a two-bedroom with 1088 square feet. Um, this square footage you can check on tax parcel to make sure it's correct. But 1088, I would say if you can get a property that's within like 1 to 200 square feet of your subject property, that's pretty good. So this one's listed for 164.9, but it's a two-bedroom, two-bathroom, and it's been listed for 236 days. So not a very good sign. That definitely shows me that it might be a little overpriced, or for some reason just not selling. So this one's pretty comparable to the one we have. These two sold. So one sold for 163, one sold for 187, which pretty surprising that the other one hasn't sold, but the one for 163 is definitely more updated than our subject property. The one for 187 is also more updated, definitely more updated than our subject property. These two are, again, pretty similar. I'll probably include this actively listed one so he can see that there is one on the market. We normally don't need to include actively listed properties, but in this case, because it's been on the market so long, I want him to see that so that he understands that, we probably shouldn't list too high. Right now, just taking a quick peek, I'm seeing that most of these properties have closed around that 150 to 160 price range. I'm going to look at Casablanca East. So this one's a pretty good comparable property. I would say this is one that we could use. It sold for 160. We only really need three. So those are the ones I'm looking at mainly, but because we only have two that sold in Casablanca West, that's why I'm pulling up this Casablanca East as well. This one I'm a little hesitant to even show him because I mean, that's pretty high. I don't see comps anywhere near that. So I'm actually going to look further back. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to do 365 days. Okay, we got more Casablanca West. So yeah, here's three right here that have sold. 168, 164, and I'll include that one that we were looking at before for 160. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this bottom button here that says CMA. That's how we're going to create our report. Okay. And under adjustments, I mean, the ones that I pulled up are pretty comparable to his. The only one there's one that's more updated, which is the one for I think it was 164 was the one that was more updated. Yeah, 168 is pretty comparable to his. His is still a little bit more outdated, but this one for 164 I think was more, yeah, definitely more updated. So I'd probably click on adjustments. This is where you can adjust based on, how updated it is. So normally I go all the way to the bottom. So normally adjustments, we have pretty set, like for example, we adjust like 5,000 per outdated bathroom, maybe 7,500 for or 10,000 for an outdated kitchen, 10,000 if it has a garage and our subject property doesn't. I do have another video on doing this, so I definitely recommend taking a look at that. But I'm going to adjust this one by 7,500 because it does have a more updated kitchen and one updated bathroom. So I did adjust. So normally, because if the comparable is more updated than our comp, you do a negative adjustment. If the comparable is less updated than the comp, you do a positive adjustment. So I did that. And yeah, so then I'm going to click on finish. I'm going to click on view CMA. This is a very quick video. I do have a longer one. I was already working on this one earlier, which is why this one's a bit quick. But I do have a longer one I recommend taking a look at as well. But I am going to go ahead and send this CMA to Tanya, and I'll send you this video, Heather, and then that way we can maybe talk about it on the phone if you have any questions and go over it a bit more.